briefly today to say how important I think that home businesses are. I'm absolutely delighted that you're having this conference today. I'm delighted to be here to join you and hopefully to meet with some of you and hear your thoughts about what more we can do to help. This for me is very personal. My wife started a home business in our bedroom. Don't worry, not that sort of business, but I will I'll never forget, you know, her going over her spreadsheets, thinking about whether it could be made to work, printing the first business cards, getting the first customers as a designer for homes and businesses, and seeing it start up. It's an incredibly exciting thing to witness. And the reasons I wanted to come today and wanted to say why the government backs this so much are really fourfold. The first is the scale. I think sometimes when people think of home businesses, they think of some small cottage industry on the edge of the UK economy. They couldn't be more wrong. 70% of new businesses are home businesses, and this is where a lot of the jobs and the growth are going to come from in our country. So the scale of this is immense if we can help businesses to start up and get going. Second point is this is not a sort of tangent to our long-term economic plan. It is absolutely part of our long-term economic plan. We want to see more people in work, we want to see our economy grow, we want to generate the tax revenues that we need for good public services, we want to get our deficit down, we want to be a success story. We can see today with the GDP figures, our economy is now one of the fastest growing in Europe, one of the fastest growing in the Western world, and it needs new businesses to be created in order to sustain that. So this is a very key part of our plan. And when we think about where the jobs of the future are going to come from, of course we want our big established businesses to grow, but the fact is the real jobs growth, I think, will come from the startups, from businesses that may start small but can grow very rapidly. And there are great British businesses that started in people's bedrooms or in people's front rooms. Brompton Bikes is a business I visited recently, started in someone's bedroom in Earl's Court, now exporting to 44 countries around the world, employing hundreds of people. This is a very, very key part of our plan. The third reason I wanted to come and join you briefly is I know it can be the most frightening sentence in the English language when someone says, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. But genuinely, we do want to help. And I hope you've heard from Matt Hancock and others about the ideas we're putting on the table. Now, of course, we've got our standard schemes that we're very proud of. I think the start-up loans have been a massive success in Britain. We've now seen £100 million go out the door in terms of start-up loans. And some of these businesses are now employing many, many people and really succeeding. We've got the new enterprise allowance, so people who are become unemployed, who go to the job centre, one of the first things they should be talked to about is, would you like the opportunity to start your own business? And here's the help under the new enterprise allowance. But today we want to explore with you some of the other things we can do to make it easier to start a business at home. Is that a new tenancy agreement that helps people with landlords in terms of starting a business? Is it trying to make sure there's greater clarity about business rates so that you don't have to start paying business rates when you start a home business? Is there more we can do on broadband? Almost certainly there is, and we've got a dynamic new Culture Secretary, Sajid Javid, who's doing everything he can to speed up those rollouts and to make sure that BT now have to put out there maps of who's got broadband, who hasn't, and how long it'll take before you get it. But if there are other things that we can do that can make a difference, making sure you're not disadvantaged if you want to start a business, if you live in social housing, all of these issues should be put on the table today. And I think that's absolutely what this conference should be about. Fourth and final thing from me is that this, to me, is not just about the long-term economic plan, not just about jobs, not just about great new businesses, vital as those things are. It's also a key issue about values. I want us to live in a country where we really respect people that put out there and put themselves on the line and start a new business. There are very few things that are more noble than starting out on your own and trying to give that opportunity of a job and a livelihood, not just to yourselves and your families, but to others as your businesses grow. And I want us to be a nation of entrepreneurs that really respect entrepreneurialism and enterprise, something that we imbue in young people in our schools, that we celebrate in our country, that we really believe becomes part of our culture. My ambition is very simple. I want this to be the best country in the world to start, to run, and to expand a business. Now, we're some way away from that, because there's still too much bureaucracy, there's still too much taxation, there's too many rules that get in the way. But when you look at the things we're doing, like start-up loans, like the new enterprise allowance, like cutting business taxes, and like getting rid of some of these regulations, I hope you can see an idea forming that that is the ambition. Best place to start, to expand, to run a business. And today is about giving us, the government, the ideas and the thoughts where we can help you. That's what this meeting, to me, is all about. So thank you for coming, thank you for the contribution that you're going to make, and thank you for what you're doing with your own businesses to create a new entrepreneurial spirit in our country. Thank you very much indeed.